Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've done a video, and Wrench has made a lot of progress over the last few weeks, and I wanted to do an update to show some of the new features. So Wrench is rapidly transitioning from a collection of core mechanics into an actual game. And one of the things helping move that along is the new tool selection system. So you just push a button and you grab the tool you want out of space, and when you grab a new tool, the old one disappears. So you don't have to worry about toting your tools around or finding them in the world. We've got a new tool here. This is the part scanner, and with the part scanner comes the Wrench tablet. And this is the primary interface for the game. And this is still early work in progress on it. But you can see what you do is basically you point the scanner at something and it'll start telling you details about the part. So right now we don't have much data plugged in, but eventually it'll be all the install information, basically the shop manual will live in here. And also part ordering and other systems will be handled in this tablet. But one of the cool things you can do right now is you can see a part wear indicator. So what it'll do is it'll show you the part, and you can drag a slider and you can see it as it ages through different race hours. And this will help you identify failed parts or new parts. And I haven't implemented this on much of the art yet. There are a few objects that have it working. But it's also just really cool to have the little floating model. They're scaled to fit within a bounding box, so something big like an engine ends up being a little scale model. And since it's VR, you can read the scale. And it really feels like you have little miniatures in front of you. Here, if I drag the slider, you can watch that brake pad fade down. I've done a few pieces of art with this. I've done the lower control arm, which I can show off. So there's brand new, all shiny. And then as it ages, it gets dirtier, a little bit of rust at the end, and then finally it gets bent in the last state. And then right now you can also toggle between showing it as a 3D model or as a render target. And this same tablet's going to be used in the 2D mode as well. It's not just for VR. It's the main interface for the game. So we'll probably use the render target in the 2D mode and the 3D model in the VR mode. And you can see the dipsticks break after about an hour. You can see race hours on the bottom left. And then one thing we've added is it's kind of a fun thing, but also turns out is really convenient. Is long distance grabbing. So you've got a few meters range. And at the moment the whole car is a pickup, so I accidentally picked up the whole car. But yeah, you can grab stuff and it'll pull towards you. And this is really nice. It limits the amount you actually need to walk around in VR or do any teleporting. Because it's something that'll reach, you can just sort of point at it and get it anyway. And that's another part I've implemented the wear on, so you can start seeing it build up. Brake dust, and then it's too small to see on the screen right now, but there are a couple fractures that occur on the wheel at the last state. And then so this is also the interface for everything else. So eventually all the game settings will be in here, all the shop management will be in here. But for now it's mostly the part inspector. And if I hop over into desktop mode, 2D mode, I've done some polish on the just the visuals for the tool systems in desktop mode. So if I pull out, there's a new small torque wrench. I finished the art for that. And if I attach that to something, there's a big indicator ring. And this sort of shows, you can see where you drag that dot in space, where it intersected that ring is the direction the ratchet's going to try to move in. And then if you're actually doing a bolt, it color codes for the amount of tension that's being applied at that moment to the tool. So loosening, there's not a whole lot. These are really small bolts. And then back in VR, one thing I meant to show off, it's a pretty big convenience feature for disassembly, is that bolts stay attached to the socket when you uninstall them until you release the trigger. And this is if you use the electric nut runner. So basically the workflow is intended that you break it free by hand. And then once it's free, you use the electric nut runner to run it up. And then previously it would just sit there and it wouldn't really be uninstalled. You'd have to use your other hand to grab it and move it before you could take the part out. But so now it stays attached to the socket. So the nut runner stops automatically when it gets to the top. And then whenever I release that trigger is when it detaches. So you can use your ratchet to pull bolts out and drop them wherever you want to put them.